friends, it is Saturday before Easter. I asked you guys if you wanted me to video my preparations for Easter dinner, and you said yes, so that's what I'm going to do. I decided I'm just going to go ahead and cook the ham ahead of time. This is a pre-cooked ham, but I'm just going to cook it, and then Scott can slice it, and then tomorrow, after we get home from church, it'll be easy to just heat up the ham, and all the other side dishes are going to be cold side dishes except for the baked beans, and those are just going to be open up a can of baked beans and warm them up. So it'll just make after church easier, because when we get home from church we are all starving. So I'm going to get this ham in here. I've got my oven preheating at 350. Ham's defrosted. I actually bought this at Thanksgiving time. Scott got a gift card to Myers from his work, and we were able to get 4 hams. Was it Thanksgiving or Christmas? Can't remember. I think it was Thanksgiving. But anyway, we got 4 hams. We had 1 at Christmas and we have 1 at Easter, and we still have 2 in the freezer. So we're going to do that. The other thing I've gotten done so far, excuse the dishes, this is a kitchen that is in the middle of being used. I got some eggs cooked in my Instant Cooker, my Instant Pot. I don't have an Instant Pot brand. I have the Go Wise brand, but anyway, because Olivia suggested kind of an unconventional side dish, at least I think so. Usually you make like deviled eggs. She wants egg salad. So I'm going to make some egg salad. We're going to have ham and egg salad, baked beans. And then for dessert, over here, I made an angel food cake already. Didn't share it because it was just from a box mix. You basically add water, mix it up, pour it in a pan, bake it. So I didn't share that. It was just a box mix, and it's pretty good. It didn't rise as much as, you know, sometimes they do, but it's not. It's completely cooled, so I can turn it back over this way. I'm gonna make a lemon blueberry trifle out of this. I'm also going to make coleslaw. So I've got some coleslaw mix that I need to get washed. I know it says pre-washed on the bag, but I'm OCD about that. I wash it myself. And then the big thing that I'm going to show you the entire recipe for, it's kind of a bigger deal, is the breakfast that I'm going to take tomorrow for Easter breakfast, the apple breakfast cobbler. But I'm not going to make that for a few hours yet, because what you do is you bake it, or you make it in a crock pot and you let it cook all night. So I don't want to make it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, it's actually 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to wait till later, but I will share that with you, and it will all be in the same video. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this ham in here, cover it with foil, and get it in the oven. So that is in the oven. That's all I do. I don't do anything special with my hams. I don't put brown sugar on them. I don't put pineapple on them. I tried pineapple one time and I didn't think it made any difference really. I didn't notice it to be extra special. So I just the ham. That's it. And I didn't add any water in the pan because it will release juices, and I'll be baking it for about 3 hours. Since these are farm fresh eggs, I'm going to go ahead and cut them in half and just make sure there's nothing funny going on with them before I put them in this bowl where I'm going to make the egg salad. 99.9% sure there's nothing wrong with them, but since they are fresh farm eggs, you just never know, especially since we do have a rooster. But we gather eggs every single day. So like I said, very, very slim chance of anything funky going on, but I just want to double check. My egg salad is very, very simple. It's just salt, pepper, mustard, and Miracle Whip. So since I have so many eggs, I have 2 dozen eggs here, I'm going to use my KitchenAid with this blade to mash them up, to mash up the eggs. I think it'll be easier and quicker than doing it by a fork, which is how I normally do it. I'm going to be fancy and sprinkle a little paprika on top of it. My coleslaw is also equally simple. It's coleslaw mix. I just get 1 bag of coleslaw mix from the store. I think it's like 16 ounces or something like that. And then I take about 1/4 of an onion and I dice it up super, 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 super fine because my son, he loves the taste of onions. He can't stand the texture of onions. So I have to dice them up super small in things. And even then, sometimes he can still detect it. It's pretty fine, but I'm going to put it down and spin it a couple more times just to make sure. Yeah, that's as ground up as it can be. I just add that to, and this has been washed, the salad mix, the coleslaw mix. So that's it for the vegetables. And then for the sauce, I don't measure anything. I just go by sight, and sometimes I have to add, make up an extra amount, but it's salt, pepper, Miracle Whip, honey, and a little bit of lemon juice. That is what I make for the dressing for my coleslaw. off camera, I did end up mixing up a little bit more of the sauce using the rest of this Miracle Whip. I knew when I started, I should have just went ahead and used all of it. But anyway, so I made this up, and if you saw me picking stuff out of there, they had sliced up big old chunks of the core in there, and those things are tough. I mean, they're edible, but they're tough, so I picked those out. So salad number 2 is done. It is time to make the trifle, and I've got this trifle bowl here. It's just, this isn't really, usually a trifle bowl has a pedestal, but I don't have one of those, but I always just use my really pretty, I don't know if this is Wexford glass or this cut glass bowl. Used to be my mother-in-law's. And I've got my angel food cake here. I'm going to cut this up into cubes. Then I've got this lemon pie filling. I'm not sure if I'm going to use 1 or 2 cans of it. I'm going to mix it with some of my dairy-free whipped cream, and then we're going to layer this with some fresh blueberries that I've actually got soaking right now to wash, and I'll get those rinsed and ready to go when I start to layer it. But the first thing I'm going to do is get this angel food cake cut up into, I don't know, pretty good sized chunks. Boy, she is full, but she is gonna be good. Look at those layers. Yum. Would have been easier if my bowl was just a tad bit bigger, but I was determined. So now I'm gonna have to put toothpicks in it to keep the plastic wrap from sticking and get this in the refrigerator, and it might settle a little. I think it will settle a little overnight, and it's gonna be delicious. So I did end up using 2 cans of that lemon cream pie filling. I used 2 containers of the Cool Whip, or the dairy-free version, and an entire angel food cake. And yes, that was a very, very full bowl. But I will tell you, I have made a lot of trifles in my time, but this is the first time I made a lemon blueberry trifle. It was the best trifle I have ever made. It was so delicious. It was so easy. It was light, refreshing. I love lemon anyway, and that lemon cream pie filling had such a nice lemon flavor. I was afraid it might feel or taste artificial lemon, but it did not. It tasted, oh, it was very, very good. In fact, the next time we have a carry-in at church, I am making this trifle because it was delicious, and yeah, the best trifle I have ever made. And I would highly recommend that you give it a try. Now, next time I make it, I'm definitely going to use a bigger bowl, even if it's not quite so pretty. I do have another glass bowl that you can see through, because with the trifle, you want to see the layers. I have a bowl that's just a little bit bigger. It's not as pretty, but it will hold this better. So next time I make it, I will make it in a different bowl, but I won't change a thing other than the bowl size because it was delicious. All right, the last project for the day, the last dish for the day is that apple cobbler, breakfast apple cobbler. It's out of this book, and it's already 8:30 at night because you're supposed to cook it on low for 7 to 9 hours. And so I didn't want to, do it in the middle of the day because it's going to cook overnight, and then it'll be ready in the morning when we go to church. I am not sure if I need to double the recipe or not. We're going to start off with just doing a single recipe worth of apples and then see what the cooker looks like at that point. We may wind up doing like a batch and a half. There's a lot of other food that's going to be there, but I don't want, apples cooked down, and I don't want this to look like there's only a tiny bit in the crock pot when I take it to church tomorrow. So I'm going to run my apple peeler corer here, and Olivia is going to use the cutting mat and slice the apples and put them in here. I can tell already that I'm going to have to do a double batch. So I'm going to go ahead and get some more apples peeled. Well, now that we've got the double batch of apples done, now I'm wondering maybe I shouldn't have done a full double batch because I still have to fit the oatmeal in here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to pour this into a separate bowl. I'm going to mix all of the ingredients in, and I'll just pour back into here what fits, and what doesn't fit I will just put it in the refrigerator and we'll bake it in the oven. Not tomorrow, but Monday morning, because I don't know, I just have a feeling that it's not all gonna fit. So because it is actually only 9 o'clock at night, and our breakfast is at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Of course, it takes us about a half an hour to get to church, so about, let's say 8:30, we're going to unplug it to transport it. I just put it on warm. I'm going to keep it on warm until I go to bed tonight, and then I'll click it up to low. And then in the morning, if it looks like it's done, then I'll put it back down on warm. And I will bring you guys back in the morning and let you see what this looks like when it's all done. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:15 or so. And that's what it looks like. It is definitely done. It looks like it might be a little bit overdone on the sides, so I'm going to turn that down. I might skim that dark stuff off. And look who wanted to come in last night. And it wasn't even storming. Well, folks, this was an absolute complete fail. The more I got digging around in here, it is not just a little scorched, it is burnt to a crisp. So, I totally wasted all those apples. I am not taking this to church. I scooped out some of it that I'm going to try to, eat, have the family eat. But this is not church potluck worthy. Doggone it. I had my pot on low. I did not put it on low till about midnight last night. So this is definitely, at least in my crock pot, definitely not a put it in and cook it overnight crock pot. So I don't know, they're gonna have plenty of food, so I'm not worried about that, but I am just disappointed that this didn't turn out. Don't try this recipe. But, this is real life. I could just completely edit out all of the apple part of this video and not share it with you. But sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. And this was a lose. Live and learn. And so this is what I ended up doing as a last minute contribution. I just washed up some oranges that I had, sliced them up into wedges, and put them in this pretty milk glass bowl. When there's a will, there's a way. So yes, this contribution for the Easter breakfast was a complete fail. I seriously considered not even including this part in this video, just completely ignoring the apple part. But I want to share with you my entire life, the ups and the downs, the wins and the losses. And this is my real life. This is what happened. I made mistakes. I should never have tried a recipe that I'd never tried before. That was mistake number one. Mistake number two, I had never used my crock pot in this capacity before, having put it on low and having something cook overnight. I didn't realize my crock pot ran hot. Well, it does. So, I did not include this recipe in this video because I don't know that it would even work for anybody, honestly. And I just didn't want to share the recipe because it just didn't turn out. It didn't turn out at all. And in fact, it doesn't even taste good. I was not even able to salvage that bit that I took off for my family to eat. It just didn't taste good. And I don't know if it was because it had that burnt, scorched part in it or what. So it was a complete fail, and it was a complete waste of apples and ingredients. But I did learn a lesson. I know exactly what I'm taking for my Easter breakfast next year. It's a old, tried and true recipe that I make for Christmas every year, and I know it works, and so that's what I'm going to do. So I learned my lesson. If by chance you are interested in giving this recipe a try, let me know in the comment section below, and I will share it with you. But I don't recommend it. But when it was all said and done, this was actually one of the best Easters I've had in a very, very long time. We had a wonderful breakfast at church. There was plenty of food. Nobody even missed my apple cobbler. And we had plenty of food. Nobody went hungry. And then we had a wonderful service. I was moved to tears a few times thinking about what the Lord Jesus has done for us, what he has done for me, and the sacrifice that was made to forgive my sins so that I can go to heaven one day. And so it was just a super, super special service. And then when we came home, my dad, he felt well enough to come over to my house, and he had lunch with us, and we had a couple hours of a really nice visit. And then after we took Dad home, Scott and I, it was such a beautiful day, perfect weather, perfect temperature. It was a nice cool breeze, and the sun was shining, and the skies were blue, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. And so Scott and I took a walk down to the creek and back, about a mile, and it was just a lovely, lovely day. And so I hope that you all had a fantastic Easter as well. I hope you were able to reflect upon Christ and what he has done for us and what he has done for you. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below, and we will talk to you all later. Bye-bye, friends.